I'm back with Rob Judge, and we've got another video for you today. And in today's video, we want to talk about something that is called pre-selection. You may or may not have heard of it, but it's the basic idea that girls are attracted to guys who they think other girls are attracted to. And you've probably experienced this yourself at some point when you've had a girlfriend, and all of a sudden you notice, like, the minute you get a girlfriend, it seems like every girl is kind of subtly flirting with you, and you'll notice her friends are kind of hitting on you, and when you're out at a bar, you'll notice other girls checking you out, and it's like, where did they all come from? Like 2 months ago, I couldn't friggin', it was when you're in a slump, it's like, they're nowhere to be found. But the minute you have a girlfriend, you kind of pick up this. And it's because girls notoriously judge your attractiveness by the way they think other girls view you. So, for instance, if they think other girls are, like, fighting for you, you become 10 times more attractive to them. You know, as guys, we don't really understand this, because as guys, we look at a hot girl and we're like, oh, she's hot. And if she's dating an ugly guy, we assume the guy has good game. And that's just kind of how it is. If a guy who's not so physically attractive is with a hot girl, we just assume he has good game. And girls are the same way. They assume, oh, he must have good game. So, the good news is that girls are notoriously bad at realizing this. When they meet you, they don't know if you're, you've got game, you get a lot of girls, or you don't get a lot of girls. The bad news is that a lot of guys give off the signs that they don't get girls, that they are kind of hungry, and they aren't one of those guys that are quote-unquote pre-selected.
And a great place to look for this, if you look at even just social media, the guy that's waiting for that girl to put up a status update or a picture, and he's the first one to comment, or like, he's on there commenting, liking stuff, on Instagram, he's tweeting to her. It's pretty obvious. I mean, the guy thinks, oh, I'm communicating with her, I'm seeing on her radar, I'm showing her that I appreciate what she's putting out there. But what those guys are really communicating is, I have nothing better to do than sit in front of my computer and wait until I can establish some form of contact with you, and I'm going to jump all over that. Another great example is guys who text girls too much, send long texts, text back and forth too much. If she feels like, wow, this guy is just sitting around waiting for me to text him, or, as soon as I show him any sort of attention or interest or anything, he's just jumping all over it, it really communicates that you probably don't have many other women in your life. You're probably, you're not in demand, that she's the only thing you have going on right now.
Yeah, a lot of guys, a big mistake guys make, and Rob and I get this all the time. We get questions from guys who go, this girl was really into me, and like we hit it off, and we had this couple great dates, and then all of a sudden she like got cold and disappeared and lost interest. And the reason this happens is because, like we said, girls are into guys they believe other girls are into, right? And they test you. Whether they realize they're doing it or not, they are testing you. And what happens is a girl will make herself completely available to you. She'll be like wanting to hang out, and you'll be like, holy shit, this girl's like, she must really like me. She wants to hang out with me like 4 nights in a row. I gotta like, she wants to hang out with me. Why would I not hang out with her? But by hanging out with her 4 nights in a row, you're like showing her like, dude, like, she's thinking, wow, like, he jumped on this a little too fast. And it could be like a subconscious thought. It's like a little thing in her gut that goes, I won him over too fast. And a guy who gets a lot of girls, he's not won over that fast. And if you have a friend who, or you're the type of guy who gets laid a lot, right? You're not won over fast. You're not willing to commit to a girl too soon. The two of us now, after we kind of learned this stuff, years ago, like, a girl even paid me attention and she was cute. I was, like, ready to be her boyfriend. Now it's like, it literally takes me, like, months of dating a girl before I'll be like, okay, like, now I'll stop seeing other girls to date her, because I have choice. And girls realize that when you're willing to throw your hand in too soon and be like, I'll be your boyfriend, you don't have choice. And what's interesting is, as I said earlier, when you get a girlfriend, you think, oh, all these girls are coming out of the woodworks for you. But a few years back, I had something really interesting happen. I talked to a girl that I wound up dating, and I had known her, I'd seen her around parties probably months earlier when I was dating somebody else. The girl I was dating wasn't around at the time. It was a long-distance relationship, so a lot of times this girl saw me, I wasn't with my girlfriend, so she had no way of knowing that I was dating anybody. And she goes to me, she goes, I was always so attracted to you, because whenever you were out at like this, when I see you at this party, all the other guys had this like, I'm trying to hook up vibe, and you had the like, I'm just here with my friends having a good time vibe. And she goes, then I found out you had a girlfriend, and it made sense. But what kind of struck me there was that, you know, it's giving off the I get laid vibe. You can do it without having that hot girl there. There's things that you can do to give off that I get laid vibe. And, you know, we were just talking before this video about the guys checking their cell phones. And
yeah, I mean, that's huge. A quick tip I give every guy when he's texting that girl that he really likes and he doesn't want to come off needy, it's a very simple tip. But when you text her, turn your phone to silent, put it in your back pocket, and make a promise to yourself that you're not going to check your phone for an hour or 2 hours, or give yourself some time limit. Because the thing is, a lot of guys are like, well, she doesn't know I'm checking the phone every 3 seconds for her text and whatever. And yeah, she might not know it, but it's the vibe that you're giving off. It's a subtle thing. And again, it's almost like women have like a radar for this. Because think about it, the guy, if you have a friend, or if you've seen a guy who's really good with women, or even imagine a guy like James Bond, the Dos Equis guy, like just, you know, these stereotypical attractive guys. Could you see the Dos Equis guy continually checking his phone? Like, did she text me back? Oh, maybe she text me back. Wait, like you know what always the classic one is the phantom vibration in the pocket where you're walking and you feel like the phone might have vibrated, so you gotta pull it out and you check. Don't be that guy. Put it on silent. Because the other thing that happens too, and this is kind of a more interesting psychological aspect of all this, is that when you're constantly checking your phone and you're constantly thinking about her and you're constantly reinforcing how much you like her, you're putting yourself into something that Bobby and I call emotional quicksand. And what this is that this is where the needy behavior comes from. This is where that hungriness really comes from. The hunger of like wanting this girl so bad comes from the fact that you're constantly in this emotional quicksand where you're putting yourself back into that position where you're depending on her for her approval, for her affection, for her interest. So it might be really hard for you to silence that phone and put it in your pocket and not check it. But just doing that one thing will really help a lot to keep you out of that emotional quicksand and to help you give off that I get laid vibe.
yeah, and you know, it's not only to the girl who they do pick up on it. Girls know when you're sitting by your phone. They can just sense it. But forget about her for a second. If you're out at a bar, you're at a party, and you're pulling your phone out and you're checking it, every girl who's checking you out sees you do that. She sees you check it, look in your phone, put it away. She sees that you've got that like I'm waiting for something to come and, you know, make my day better kind of vibe, as opposed to the, hey, I'm out drinking beers with my friends, conversing, flirting with girl vibe, which makes you look a lot more attractive. Now, there's several ways you can become that pre-selected type, the give off the I get laid vibe. You know, there's the sneaky things you can do. Me and my friends, we used to like create fake Facebook or MySpace profiles.
Genius.
We would leave we would leave like on a Friday night or Saturday morning. We would leave like a comment from a girl going, "Great time last night. Oh, we got to hang out again soon." And then it would get the girls that we were really going for, the girls in our social circle, the girls we worked with or had class with. They would see all these girls. Like I said, this is not something I'm necessarily recommending, but it was really friggin' effective. You know, there's things like that you can do. And then there's also the internal stuff that you can do. More importantly, though, it's more a game of what you don't do. So a lot of people think it's like, well, to get a girl chasing you, to get a girl wanting you, you have to do all these things. But it's really a matter of elimination. It's a matter of eliminating certain things. So, for instance, if a girl, you know, shows a whole bunch of interest in you, just taking a step back makes her chase you, right? There's something that we call the cat in the string theory. And I put a video together for you below that teaches you this idea that women are like a cat chasing a piece of string. And when you dangle that string in front of her and you don't let her have it, she's going to keep chasing it. The minute she gets it, she gets bored and she goes, that was really easy to catch. He must not get laid. I must be a prize for him. And women never want to be the prize. They want you to be the prize. So we put this video together below where we're going to talk not only about the cat in the string, but we're also going to talk about how to position yourself as the prize. How do you take her off the pedestal and put yourself up there so she's the one chasing you? There's 4 things that you do. We call it the 4 horsemen of the chase, and we put the video together below. Check it out. We're going to teach you something called the scrambler. We're going to teach you the 4 horsemen of the chase, and we're also going to teach you the cat in the string theory.